Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take those
Yeah.
those stacks of sources.
All the articles, the research notes.
Exactly. The sometimes really overwhelming details, and we try to extract the critical knowledge, the stuff you
Mm.
actually need to be informed.
Right.
And today we're diving into, well, it's the ultimate backyard dream, isn't it? Installing that perfect in-ground pool.
But it's always contrasted with the potential nightmare.
Oh, completely. The nightmare of managing a massive, complicated construction project.
It's that classic paradox. You want the oasis, the place to relax, make memories,
Mm.
but then you're immediately hit with the stress.
Mm.
Coordinating timelines, fighting with subcontractors, and just worrying.
Worrying if that huge investment is even going to survive the first winter.
Exactly.
So our mission today is to look at this whole challenge, but through a very specific lens. We're focusing on northeastern Pennsylvania.
Right. NEPA.
And we're looking at the methods and materials from a company called Aqua Leisure Pools and Spas. They've been in this region for, over 60 years?
That's right. So we're trying to pull out the key decisions, the surprising sort of technical truths that can turn this scary project into a really confident, lasting investment.
And this company, they operate at a serious scale.
Oh, yeah. The sources make a huge point of that. They highlight their regional footprint, and they claim to operate get this, the East Coast's largest display of in-ground swimming pools.
Wow, largest.
Yeah, with 30 full-size models just sitting in their showrooms for you to see.
30. So you're not just looking at a catalog.
No, not at all. This isn't some small-town operation. It tells you they've been around the block.
That immediately gives you confidence, right? Because, they've built enough pools to have learned the hard lessons.
They've seen it all.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Our first big insight. Why is choosing a truly local builder in a place like Pennsylvania so critical? Beyond just being convenient.
It really comes down to what you could call localized structural knowledge.
Okay.
The sources are really clear that a long-standing local presence, like theirs in Wilkes-Barre, it's not just that they're nearby. It means they've built up this strategic and technical knowledge that some national chain or an installer from out of state, they just can't replicate that overnight.
And what kind of specific knowledge are we talking about here? Building codes are public, right? Anyone can look those up.
Codes are public, yeah, but the unique regional variables are not. We're talking about the details of Pennsylvania's really challenging climate, which we'll get into more in a second, and maybe more importantly, the soil conditions.
The soil.
Yeah, local builders, they get the regional topography, they know the shale, the different clay compositions, and how all of that is going to affect excavation, drainage, and foundation stability all year round.
So if you hire a builder who, say, only ever works in Florida or Arizona, they might build a pool that's perfectly fine for that climate.
Exactly.
But it would be completely inadequate for a Pennsylvania winter.
Precisely. That local expertise, it ensures the pool is built on a foundation that can actually handle the local geology and the constant shifting that happens with the seasons. It informs everything.
That makes so much sense. You're hiring a partner who knows the ground you're building on.
Right.
And the sources also talk about their service area. They're all over NIPA. Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Allentown, Lake Wallenpaupack.
That scale is key because it means even though they cover a big area, they still have rapid service proximity.
So you can get help quickly.
Right. Faster response times for service calls, for consultations, for emergencies.
Yeah.
You're dealing with a team that gets your specific corner of Pennsylvania.
Okay, let's shift gears. Let's talk about materials, because this is where the real anxiety kicks in for most people. The sources say something really interesting. They say your material choice is your insurance policy against the weather. So let's talk about the infamous NEPA freeze-thaw cycle. What is that? And why does it make fiberglass the smart choice?
This is, I think, the most critical technical point for anyone building something to last in a cold climate.
Okay.
The freeze-thaw cycle is just what it sounds like. The ground freezes, it thaws out a bit, and then it refreezes over and over all winter.
And water expands when it freezes.
It expands by about 9%.
9% doesn't sound like a lot, but when you think about all the soil surrounding a massive pool,
It generates this immense, just unrelenting force, hydrostatic pressure. We are talking about thousands of pounds per square foot pushing against that underground structure.
and that's the enemy of traditional materials like concrete.
It's the absolute enemy. Concrete is rigid, and it's notoriously prone to cracking under that kind of stress. That leads to leaks, structural failure, and incredibly expensive repairs down the road.
So concrete cracks because it's trying to fight a force it just can't win against. How does fiberglass solve that?
Well, fiberglass pools are engineered differently. They're built for resilience and flexibility.
They're not rigid.
Exactly. They're a solid, single shell,
Yeah.
and they're designed to flex. They move with the ground, they absorb that pressure from the freeze-thaw cycle, and they do it without compromising the shell's integrity.
They're basically climate-proofed.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay, so I can hear someone listening right now going, wait a minute. If fiberglass is so great, why doesn't everyone use it? Isn't it a lot more expensive than, say, a vinyl liner pool?
That's a really important question. And yes, initially fiberglass can be a larger upfront investment than a basic vinyl line pool.
Okay.
But this is where you have to do the long-term math. The vinyl liner option, you have to replace that liner, every 7 to 15 years?
Yeah.
And that's a big cost for both the materials and the labor. Fiberglass just, it eliminates that whole costly cycle.
So the higher initial cost gets paid back over time through lower maintenance and zero liner replacement costs.
And the company backs this up with data. Hard data.
Right.
I mean, their confidence in this material is right there in the warranty. They offer an exceptional 40-year warranty on these pools.
40 years.
40. That's not a marketing slogan. It's a financial guarantee that this structure will hold up against the very forces we're talking about.
Wait, a 40-year warranty is? It's staggering. Are there loopholes? You know, like what if there's a major flood? Does that void it, or is it really that comprehensive?
Well, the sources, specifically the customer testimonials, they suggest a really high degree of confidence. We have a total aha moment here from a couple, Lee and Donna G. in Tunkhannock.
Oh, yeah.
Their feedback was that their fiberglass pool survived the catastrophic 2011 flood with no issues.
Wow. After a major flood.
And they specifically compared it to their friends' pools, the ones with liners, saying they were not nearly so lucky. I mean, that's a real-world stress test.
That's the ultimate test case for resilience. And just quickly, what about design? You're not sacrificing looks for durability, are you?
Not at all. The shells come in all kinds of shapes, rectangular, freeform, ovals, and the base cost includes the concrete deck around the pool, the lights, safety covers, all that.
So you can still get the diving boards, the slides, the whole dream setup.
Absolutely. The durability is the foundation, but you can build your personalized oasis right on top of it.
Okay, now let's talk about the process. Because this is the part everyone dreads. You know, building a pool can turn a homeowner into an unwilling, untrained construction manager.
Oh, absolutely.
Juggling the excavation guys, the electricians, the plumbers, the landscapers. So what does this company's one-stop shop model do to fix that?
This is the logistical breakthrough. The concept to completion model, its real value, is in eliminating the chaos. It gets rid of the accountability gaps you see in traditional construction.
The blame game.
The blame game,
Yep.
Exactly. Where the excavator blames the plumber, who blames the electrician, and the whole time you, the homeowner, are paying for the delays and mistakes.
So how does having one point of contact change that?
It just means you have one single accountable team managing every single phase. From the initial custom design, which they tailor to your space and your budget, all the way through to the final installation. It's a unified approach.
Which guarantees things stay on schedule.
And that the quality control is consistent across all the different jobs.
Let's play this out. I'm a homeowner in Bartonsville, let's say, and your crew starts digging and finds unexpected massive rock under the surface. How does the one-stop shop handle that versus the old way?
That's a perfect example. In the old way, the excavation guys would stop work, hit you with a change order, and then you'd have to go find and hire a rock blasting specialist.
Ugh, sounds like a nightmare.
And the whole project just grinds to a halt. With the integrated model, that expertise is managed internally by the project lead. They pivot, they handle the logistics, they control the cost impact. You're not left trying to coordinate 5 different companies.
That is a huge advantage. And their commitment, from what the sources say, goes way beyond just the construction.
That's right. They guide you through the whole life cycle of owning a pool. They do routine maintenance, repairs, seasonal closings, and they have the retail support too.
Stocking chemicals and all that.
Right. And a key detail here for protecting that 40-year investment, they offer free computerized water tests.
That's a small detail, but it's actually a big deal. Keeping the water balanced is the most constant chore.
It is. And for anyone worried about that initial cost, the sources confirm they help with that too, facilitating financing through some big established partners.
It all comes back to a better customer experience. There's a quote from a customer in Wilkes-Barre that sums it up.
I saw that one. They said Aqua was a dream company to work with, and that their commitment towards the customer satisfaction and the exceptional quality is very impressive.
And that feeling, that impressive quality, it comes directly from having one dedicated team on the job from start to finish.
It has to.
All right, let's shift to the final piece of the puzzle.
Right.
The money. It's really easy to just label a pool a luxury expense, something that loses value the second it's finished.
Right, like driving a new car off the lot.
Exactly. But the sources frame this as a tangible, lasting asset, an investment. How do we make that connection for someone thinking about their long-term home value?
I think the key distinction is between a temporary amenity and a permanent home improvement. A professionally designed, expertly installed Pool 1, built with that regional durability, like fiberglass. It's a significant upgrade.
That's not just a toy.
No, it transforms your backyard into a high-value, desirable retreat. It genuinely enhances the property's appeal, and because of that, its market value when you go to sell.
So what you're saying is a pool built without that local know-how and the right materials, that could actually hurt your home's value because of future problems.
It could become a liability, absolutely. But a high-quality installation, that's an appreciation factor.
And the ROI isn't just about resale.
No, you have to think about cost avoidance. I mean, if a fiberglass pool needs 80% less maintenance and zero liner replacements over 20 years compared to vinyl, well, that calculation alone can easily justify the bigger upfront cost. You're protecting your asset from falling apart.
It's the attention to detail that unlocks the value. There was feedback from a Julie Kay in Scranton, and she specifically praised the installation crew's attention to detail and their professional attitude.
And that's the difference maker. That expert craftsmanship is what turns it from a hole in the ground into a permanent upgrade.
And it's important to note, this focus on quality applies to everything they offer, right? Not just the big in-ground pools.
Correct. They have a full range of products. Above-ground pools, which are great for immediate, affordable fun, and also spas and swim spas, which are serious investments in, hydromassage therapy and year-round relaxation.
But the principle is the same across the board. If you're making a big investment in a home in a tough climate,
then your choice of local expertise, durable materials, and a seamless process is what ensures that investment actually pays off, in both enjoyment and in lasting value.
the decision isn't just about what looks best in a brochure.
Not at all. It's about what's engineered to survive in northeastern Pennsylvania.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive. So let's quickly recap the 3 big strategic insights we've pulled out.
Okay. First, the absolute necessity of local expertise. That knowledge of PA's soil and climate is critical for a stable foundation.
Right.
Second, the strategic long-term value of fiberglass. It's basically climate insurance against that destructive freeze-thaw cycle, and it's backed by that incredible 40-year warranty.
And third, the huge relief that comes from the one-stop shop model. It guarantees quality control, and it just minimizes the headaches by managing everything from concept to completion.
Knowledge is complete. And before we go, here's a final thought for you to mull over.
Okay.
Building a pool in a place like Napa is really an investment in lifestyle resilience. The whole point of the structure is to defy the harsh environment so that you can just focus on enjoying it.
On making the memories.
Right. So now that all the complexity is managed and the material decision is clear, what's the first unforgettable memory you would create in your own professionally built, guaranteed backyard oasis?
Mull that over. Depth dive concluded.